Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. And this video is to bring you a closer look at the Ultra hardware number 61206, 207, 208, and 209. Pardon me, 61207, 61208, 61209 sliding door track sets. This video is going to work for all four of those model numbers because they're identical except the length changes. All four of these kits are for bypassing doors, typical residential style bypassing doors, or they call them sliding. I would call them bypass. Well, that's what they are called, bypass. Okay. The kit that I have here in front of me, which I'll show you in a moment, is the 61206. So this review of the 61206, 07, 08, 09, we'll start with the track. This is a typical bypass track. It is steel with what they call a zinc coating to it, or zinc plate. This is a typical J hanger sort of arrangement, and I'll show you that in a moment, what the hangers look like. This track is going to work for 3/4 inch thick all the way to 1 3/8 thick doors. The 6106 is a 4-foot track, and that means that you're going to be dealing with 24-inch doors. Not exactly 24-inch doors. And we'll talk about that in a moment. The 61207 is a 60-inch track. The 61208 is a 72-inch track, and the 61209 is a 96-inch track. Okay, so this is the 48-inch track. Ultra has this as being for 24-inch doors. Well, that's not really correct. It might be correct. Let's take a look. Yeah, it is certainly correct in the sense that this track and all of them are going to be slightly short. This track actually measures 47-inch. So when they say you're going to use 24-inch doors, that would work because you need to have a small overlap between the doors. If you had a 48-inch track and two 24-inch doors, they would meet just like this. You want them to obviously overlap. So they accommodate that by going with a shorter piece of track. And the reasoning that you're going to get there is ordering 24.5-inch doors for a 1-inch overlap. That would be unusual, difficult, hard to source, more expensive. So keep in mind that all of these tracks are going to be slightly shorter than, what you might be expecting to otherwise see. Their reference to 24-inch door size, again, certainly does work. In my experience, it's unusual to have a track that's going to be a bit shorter than what you would expect it to be, but nonetheless, there it is. So, moving forward, the next thing to show you is going to be the hangers. Okay, you're going to have 4 of them, obviously, because this is going to work with 2 doors. They're going to look like this, a J type of hanger, which is going to ride real nicely in the track like this. Okay. Up to 50-pound doors, that would certainly be okay. It's a substantial track. The entire kit weighs about 2 pounds, so it's, there's certainly some weight to it, is the bottom line. Back to the size, they do indicate, that you've got on the 61206, for example, a 48-inch total per set. It's a bit misleading. I wouldn't want to go creating all my drywall openings to find out that my track was 1 inch short of what you're planning on. So keep that in mind, that all of these 4 systems by Ultra are going to run the same way. The door size they're giving you, they're going to compensate in making the track just ever so slightly less, about 1 inch less. Now, so you're going to get a length of steel track. You're going to get 2 pair of the hangers. You're going to obviously have instructions that are going to be here, and the instructions are very important to make reference to because you have to have a way to compensate for different door thicknesses. Okay, so if you are dealing with 3/4 inch doors, Okay, you're going to contend with an arrangement of the hangers. And per the instructions, right here for 3/4 inch doors, your rear doors are going to have the A hangers. The A hanger looks like that, and it's marked with an A. So there's two A's. Then your front door is going to have the B hangers. Okay? There's going to be two with a greater offset, and they're going to be marked B. So your A and your B. You can see that there are different offsets. This is your B, and this is one's your A. Okay? So then you get to your 1 3/8 doors, and you'll reverse that order. You're going to put your B in the back, your B hangers in the back, and your A hangers in the front. Now, probably more important than even knowing that is your rough opening. The floor to the header, okay, your finished header. You don't want to try to install this stuff to just drywall. You'll want a wood header, maybe wrapped in drywall, obviously, if it's residential. But what they're giving us is the door height plus 1 3/4 inches. So a typical example would be 80-inch door height, 80-inch, 6'8" or 80-inch, plus 1 3/4 inches. So you'll be at 81 3/4 from the floor to the header, where you're going to attach the track. After that, your instructions are pretty much complete. You've got your rough opening, you get your track up into the hanger, you attach your hangers to the doors, A and B together. You hang your doors, and then you can plumb the doors as shown here. Okay, even though that drawing, and there's a link below this video, is slightly misleading. You're going to have plenty of screws to be able to attach those. Okay, and really what you can end up doing is attaching one screw and then the other one, because at that point you can kind of tip that, as you can see, to help level your door installation. The final thing referenced here in the instructions here is attach your guide, and what's included is like a telescoping sort of door guide installation aspect. I'm going to just assemble it at one end here. I'll just assemble it all together. We've got 3 plastic pieces. They telescope, okay, depending on your door thickness, all the way in for 3/4, and you obviously slide it out for your thicker doors. You're going to have a screw here, right in the center, and at the outer ends, and that screw package is there for all of that stuff. You're also going to get 2 little tiny finger pulls as well. Okay, you're just going to drill a small hole and insert these finger pulls into the face of the door. You'll get 2 of them. Okay, and that pretty much covers the material. I've got to tell you, dollar per dollar, it's a great little kit, especially for the cost. Everything is included that you're going to need for a complete installation. It's very typical builder's quality. It's something that I very often sell to landlords used in rental applications where, cost is always an important factor, sometimes more important than the duty rating of the material. It would be very unusual to see this in a hotel. It's just not material that would be intended for a high frequency use application. These guides are not intended to be abused at all. They will crack if someone falls into the door, that sort of situation. And Ultra Hardware is a full-line importer of all things many things builders hardware related. Obviously, sliding door track kits. They do a lot of stuff with lock sets, hinges, other ancillary hardware like door stops. They have a full line of fans and lighting, all kinds of material used. There's a link in the website to their full line catalog. So if you want to review the rest of their product line, by all means review that. So the steps of the instructions are very straightforward. This is a real simple thing. The only kind of problem that I end up having is clients don't properly reinforce the header. They just run screws into the drywall, and then it of course would fail. You need to have wood up at the header to attach your track to. Let's put a little tape measure on this track, because people do like to know how big the track is. I'm going to stand it up here on my desk, give you an idea. So you can see that the overall width of that is basically 1 13/16. An overall height that's going to be, you know, about 15/16, maybe about an inch. Okay, but just keep in mind that's your rough opening. Door height plus 1 3/4, or conversely, if your opening is already created, well, opening height less 1 3/4, that's your net door height. So there you go. Probably the final thing is, before you drill your finger poles, while they're very small, check your height of all the other hardware in the space. You don't want your finger poles to be at some unusual height from the floor when you've got locks that are going to be, you know, at a specific height, let's say. So be mindful of where you're going to drill to install these. And I like, you know, a butterfly bit's going to work real good for that. And it's just a compression fit is the bottom line. There is not a size given for drilling for those finger poles. And if I was going to do it, looks like 3/4 inch would be the hole to drill, and it doesn't appear to be conical shape at all on there. So I, you know, might test it with a slightly smaller hole, because you know that's got to be pressure fit in there. Maybe a 1/16 smaller, then rasp it out a little bit larger to get this to fit. Especially if you've got a lot of them to do, you know, you're going to want to test that thoroughly. So if you have any questions on the Ultra Hardware 61206, 61207, 61208, 61209 sliding door bypassing track kits, or any other Ultra Hardware product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you very much.